Hello, Shake Talk world. It's Barbie Lee. Yay! So obviously on pickleball days, it comes later. And right now I'm in PST, and I used to be in MST. And then for my birthday, on my birthday, we're going to jump forward on April 1st because that's what Mazatlan does. And then I'll be back in MST for a couple days, and then I'll go to PST in Vancouver, and then I'll go back to MST. So God help me. I have no idea what time it is. So good morning and welcome. And say goodbye, Mika. Say bye-bye, Mika. She likes my shake. I tease her, and then she goes away. She gets the lid. So good morning. So this morning I'm chatting a little bit about the book that I'm reading right now. So I'm curious, and do you have a book that you read and read and read and read, not because it's so boring and you can't get through it, but that you absolutely love and you just keep reading the book again and again and again? That's the book for me. I love this book. Love, 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 love this book. If you haven't read it yet, they're hard to come by. Good morning, Angela. Ooh, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets by Steve Siebel. I don't know that one. I'm going to have to check that one out. So this is my favorite because it is timeless. There are truths in the book, right? It's called Working with the Law, 11 Truth Principles for Successful Living. And it's not religious, it's not spiritual, it's not business oriented, it is just truths. Like, so often we read a book and, Angela says 170 mental toughness. So you know what you're reading about, right? Mental toughness, right? And that's what you're going to get from the book. And there's, Think and Grow Rich. So you know what you're going to get from that book. Or the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? You know what you're going to get from that book. But this one's called Working with the Law, 11 Truth Principles of Successful Living. And we're like, that might be like just kind of an overall, what I like to call a Bible of successful living. So the 11 truth principles are these. They are the law of thinking, the law of supply, law of attraction, law of receiving, law of increase, law of compensation, law of non-resistance, law of forgiveness, law of sacrifice, law of obedience, law of success. Okay, so I'll give you that so you can screenshot so you can see what the different, let me get it straight. Ooh, there we go. Okay, screenshot, click. Now, what's fabulous about this is it's not about one particular area, right? It's like in all of it. So whether it's health or finances or relationships or contribution, right? Each of these laws apply to every single area of your life, which is really super cool. So working with the law, so they're calling the law, some people like to call it God, spirit, energy. Raymond Halliwell is simply calling it a law because just like gravity is a law, success is a law. It's part of us being and growing. Thinking, there's the law of thinking. So when you learn the law, right, it's kind of like this. Gravity, right? We pretty much understand gravity, right? I take this pen and I let it go. Gravity says it's going to fall to the ground. If it's lighter, like a piece of paper, take a little sticky piece of paper here. Law of gravity says it will float. Oh, you didn't get to see it because it flew over there. It'll fly, whatever. Live feed. Sometimes things don't go right. So it floats, right? We understand gravity, but we understand law of thinking. If you don't, maybe you need to read this book. How about the law of supply? Now, we do hear about supply and demand in school, and it's usually dealing with economics, right? Oh, when there's a abundance of oil, let's say, oil prices go down. When it's starting to, not be so easily serviced from the land, oil prices go up. And other reasons too, and those economics people don't tell me how wrong I am. Here in Mexico, lemons, just can't find them. They're very hard to find. Limes are a dime a dozen. But lemons, actually, they're 1 peso a lime. Little limes like this, 1 peso. So really, they are a dime, 10 pesos for 10. Anyway, So it'd be 12 pesos a dozen. Anyway, so then there's the law of attraction. Now we hear a lot about the law of attraction, but really, do you understand the law of attraction? That's only one spiritual law. Did you know that? That's only one of the 11. But so many people just go, oh, I'm doing the law of attraction. Well, what about the law of receiving? That's huge. You can attract all you want, but if you don't know the law of receiving, it's not the same thing. Like, it's brilliant. Okay. So yesterday I read, now you can see I have different pen marks, right? Different colors. Here's a good page. Actually, I think I have blue, green, and pink on this page, right? Yeah. Blue, green, and pink. So you can see how many different times I'm reading it and how many different things stand out for me, right? I read here the other day about why we struggle. So I want to share this with you because this was brilliant. So this is in the chapter on the law of compensation. So it says, the early religious teachings were that justice might be expected in another life. The rich and the powerful seemed to be the wicked and the overbearing, and they were bound to receive their punishment in the end, while the poor, unfortunate ones, the wretched ones, were to be devoted to their religion and their church. Then they were sure to be bountifully rewarded in the next life. Know anybody or any religion that thinks like that still? The promise of heaven and all that glitters has ever been held over them as a hope of future attainment to make up for their shortcomings on this planet. But no such attitude is ever expected from the viewpoint of truth when you know the law. Sooner or later, we must come face to face with the law of compensation, and inevitably our own comes to us, and only what is our own. As we apply it to life and watch its certain results, do we find a balance for the effort of living? Are we satisfied with the good we are receiving? Are we getting fair returns for our efforts? Da-dee-da-dee-da. The laws of successful living are the same as the laws of science. The supply and the possibility is ever the same and at hand, but it is our problem to change the use or application of the law in order to bring about conditions better than those that we have had. It's kind of brilliant. It's kind of brilliant. So if you haven't read this book yet, I highly recommend it. I'm on my, I might be on my fourth, actually this is my second book because Kim Deep gave me a book a long time ago and it fell apart. And because I read it so often and then I had an elastic around it and then I found another one and actually I found a website that had a whole bunch of them. So we did a book study and I bought a whole bunch of them and now they're all gone again. So anyway, what book do you like to read over and over and over again? I love this one. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. Have a great day.